The werewolf stalks. Out of the frozen north came a dread thing that was neither man nor beast. A monster without a soul that killed without remorse and gave no quarter. You'll thrill to this fearful story of the undead, of a nameless terror that went loping through the night in the full of the moon, with its crimes black upon it. In the frozen timberlands of northern Canada, a gaunt grey killer stands at bay. "Careful, lads, careful! I've got him covered. Arrgh! Pierre! Oh, the poor devil, those shadows wrecked my aim. Grrr! We've got him! Bring the crate, hurry! They're right up ahead. They must have roped the brute. Biggest timber wolf I ever saw. Vicious, if it leaped for a man's throat. We took the beast alive, but at what a price. I've been caging and selling wild beasts for 20 years, but every time a man is killed, I feel like a murderer. It wasn't your fault, Mr. Wilder. The brute moved faster than its shadow." At that moment, in a nearby cabin, "A wreath of garlic? What good will that do, woman?" "Werewolves fear garlic. What was it we heard howling last night? It began as a wolf's cry, but it turned into the cruel laughter of a man. Jacques' laughter." In the bleak north country, ancient beliefs die slowly. From old France, the settlers brought with them a mortal fear of the undead. "I tell you, it was Jacques the logger. He was bitten by a wolf and then disappeared. If it was a werewolf that bit him, he's become a werewolf himself. He was cruel, brutal, even as a man. If he roams the timber as a wolf..." Later that night, at John Wilder's camp, "He's a magnificent beast, Barbara. Zoos are plenty greedy for timber wolves. We'll get a good price for him in the States. But I can't forget that we captured him at the cost of a human life. I'm terribly tired, dear. Let's call it a night." Alone, a ghastly transformation. I'm changing back. No longer a wolf. I'm Jacques. Cage me like a beast, would you? I'll claw their throats out. Clang, clang. The wife of the man who caged me. When she bears the claw marks of the undead, she will run like a beast through the timber. Her hands will become claws. Her face, help, help, let me go. Oh, Barbara, she's gone. Help, John. Great Scott! He's a giant. Can't risk shooting. I've got to close with him. Help! Crack, bang. Ah, you devil, take that. Ah! I've got to get this wound dressed. I'll die if I don't get to a doctor. I'm in bad shape. Losing strength fast. I'm turning back into a wolf. No control over it. How can I get a doctor to help me if I'm a beast without a voice? I'd be killed on sight. Trapped, desperate, the ghastly monster returns to its cage. I'll get the wound dressed as a wolf. Only chance. Got to take it. He won't know I was the man he shot. A man like him doesn't believe in... The camp is aroused by an agonized howling. Wounded! Great Scott! I remember now. My gun went off twice when I struggled with the lumberjack. A stray bullet must have lodged in the beast. There, I've got the bullet out and sterilized the wounds. Those dressings will have to be changed once a day, but I guess I can handle it. In a week you'll be at sea, sir. It will be tough on you if he turns ugly with a rolling deck under him. 10 days later, as the ship nears the Golden Gate, the beast's wounds must be nearly healed. I believe I've made friends with it. It never snarls at me. I'm going to see if... What's that? Ah, it's not a wolf. It's not a wolf. A human face and... Oh, John, help. Oh. The ship's docking. You'd better get her to a taxi. She was shaken up a bit, but she'll be all right now. Nerves, mostly. She saw a shadow, and in her nervous state, well, you know how women are. I think I do, Doctor. 10 days later, at a West Coast zoo. I never saw a more vicious-looking beast. Look at him. He'd like to get at us. A beast like that could kill a man with a single blow. Timber wolf, habitat, northwestern Canada, captured by John Wilder. That night. Click. Grrr. On the sleeping city, a ghastly terror falls, a terror of rending claws slashing out of the darkness, of running feet, of screams that start and end abruptly, as though choked off, and over all, the shadow of something monstrous, and as merciless as the Arctic night. Ah! No! Help! Grrr! But a werewolf cannot cross running water. There it goes, Monahan. It's that escaped wolf. I'll blast the viciousness out of it. Grrr. Later that night, in John Wilder's home, I'm going upstairs to bed. I'm sorry the wolf escaped, but my responsibility ended when I sold it to the zoo. If you want to sit there listening to that radio blare, go ahead. You know as well as I do, the wolf had nothing to do with those slayings. It did have something to do with them, John. I tell you, I'm frightened. It wasn't a shadow I saw on the ship. Why won't you believe me? The werewolf legend is as old as mankind. There must be some truth in it. Terror-fraught moments later. The wolf has been wounded. The details are just coming in. Apparently it got away, but wounded. When it was wounded before, John dressed the wound. What if it should come here? If it really is a werewolf, it will know the way. There's something at the window. Something out there. Something that's... Scratch. Oh! John! Help me! Can't hold off much longer. John! Barbara, keep backing up. Stay away from it. I've got to get to that table. I've got it. A silver paper knife. Back, Barbara. Here it comes. Grrr. I'm done for. If he gets my throat, got to get him first. Crash. Grrr. Merciful heavens, look. In death, Jacques sheds the mark of the beast and finds relief from his torment. A silver knife. Anything silver is fatal to the undead. You knew, but you didn't believe in the undead. What opened your eyes? Sheer desperation, I guess. I didn't want to lose you, darling. The end.